Little black book. You know what time it is. 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 Time it is.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You already know what time it is. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? Listen, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. For those who are returnees, you ain't got the minerals, baby. Listen, I'm about to get into a real video. We're going to talk about betrayal. I've been betrayed. Yes. So I want to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown onto that. Yeah, man. Life is so cold, I don't never know. Yeah. Listen, so do you know what the fundamentals thing is? I was talking to God for the past. I've been talking to God since the last kind of 2-3 years. It's been a mad 3 or so years, right? Pretty much the extent of my YouTube career, if you want to call it that. And one of the things that really have kind of dealt with me, God has been dealing with me with, is how to deal with betrayal. Now I know a lot of you probably have been through the situation, and you're probably at the screen already going, yes, talk about the betrayal, because some of these nagas, and I'm like, yeah, I understand. So yeah, I want to talk to you guys about betrayal. So me, for the past like 2-3 years, I've been nuked in different ways, and I think the two main ways I can talk about betrayal is emotionally and I think financially. For those of you who follow my Instagram, I kind of spoke of this, and I said I was going to talk about this, about how to deal with pain and what God is doing. So in the last kind of few years, I've been hitting those two areas, and I'll tell you both. I'll just tell you little stories of them. So financially, I had some people that were close to me who were Christians, also not just normal people, who I gave money to, and the sum of the amount of the totality was about £5,000, right? £5,000. Now you have to understand, those £5,000, yeah, I had earmarked for, getting a mortgage right now. Yeah, I should be in Birmingham having a mortgage. Yeah, and watch out, because we're going to do a little testimony on that as well. I should be in Birmingham right now with a mortgage, right? But I've had to start again with my saving because I had a loss, right? And I think the most maddest thing about the situation was that I knew both of the people, right? Of different ages, and it's crazy because I really did trust them, right? And they weren't my closest people, but they were so close to me that I would be willing to lend that kind of money to them. Do you know what I mean? And to see, obviously, the process of it, the people's, because not one person, the people's lying, avoiding me, never trying to sort it out, making excuses. Do you know what I mean? I just called it, at the end of the day, I just called it bad debt, right? And I said, you know what? I'm not gonna come and die, because I can't come and kill myself over money. You understand? It's one of my biggest principles that I think everyone should always have. Do not let money kill you. Yeah, and lend what you can afford to lend. Do you get me? Like that £5,000, yeah, I could afford to lend it in the sense of that I still have money left over, but it just meant that my plan was put back by a year and a bit. Do you understand? But it's made me hungry to more success and make me want to win. And we'll talk more about that as well. So when I experienced that, I'm a person that doesn't like to get angry in it. So I don't like getting angry to a point where I can't contain my emotions in it. And when I was younger, I used to do that. I wasn't necessarily an angry person, but I mean, if I got angry, when I finally got angry, I could potentially do something stupid. And I didn't want to be that way. So I always said that, God, when it comes to money, I never want the person to have that ability over me where I lose it to a point where I do something stupid. Yeah, it's money. You the one that even caused me to get this money. And so if the person decides that they're gonna rob me, even though we're meant to be boys or we're meant to be friends, then so be it. I'm gonna call it bad debt. Even the Israelites even said, after the 6th year, cancel the debt, and the 7th year, cancel the debt. It's gone. It's bad debt. And even if you look at the world systems financially, that's how they operate. After 6 years, bad debt is done. It's gone. Like they wipe the slate clean, because at the end of the day, you're not gonna get that debt back from that person. Do you get me? So I cancelled that debt, and I said, you know what, Lord, let them have it. Let them be blessed by it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even gonna cuss about it. But Lord, I'm now putting the onus on you, Lord. As you've seen me being robbed, you see me being taken for a mug, and you see me not react in a way that wouldn't glorify you, Lord, now is your opportunity, Lord, to show your face in my life and show me how best I can go about, making some money. Because evidently I'm $5 grand short, my G. And since you're my Jehovah Jireh, my provider, you know what I mean? So I hope that's the right one anyway. So that was my kind of conversation I had with him. And then I think also within that time, with that time span of the last 3 years, I've also suffered emotionally, bruv. And most of you see my singleness videos and breakup videos. And I also suffered in a way I suffered a betrayal there. Like, I don't even want to go too deep, but there was a betrayal there that was so serious. And actually, the way I started looking at it was kind of mad. And I'd never seen it coming. Do you get me? When someone betrays you, when someone's that close to you and they betray you, yeah, emotionally, it's hard to take it. It's hard to take it, and I think I never knew how to like, I'm still in the process of trying to heal, like, and in that process of healing, I'm also being very cautious because I'm very much aware that when you're in your pain, you can cause other people pain. Do you get it? And because the situation was complicated, I was like, do you know what? I need to see Jesus in this situation. So Lord, show me where you're in this situation, because that level of betrayal is a Judas type of betrayal, and that's what I want to talk about. Because I know many of you have suffered. Maybe someone cheated on you. Maybe someone robbed you. Maybe someone's lied upon you. Maybe someone who's meant to be your friend has not backed you in something. They've betrayed you in some certain form or fashion. And I want to just kind of let this know. Listen, look, in every betrayal, we got to see Jesus in it. And I know some of you might not be Christians in this, and you may think to yourself, what am I going to take from this? I'd say just still follow me, listen with me, and you'll get some understanding from this and wisdom. Which is that, you know what? When the betrayal comes, it's an opportunity to show how much you love and how much you care. The betrayal is painful because, one, you never expected it. It's like a punch that comes out of the blue. Imagine you were standing with somebody and someone punched you. You was not ready. You didn't brace yourself for it. And so therefore the pain increases because you were unaware. It's a sucker punch in a sense. And oftentimes we can get knocked out from that sucker punch. But the most important thing is you stand up for the count, right? So even though you got knocked down and you can hear the referee count in 1, 2, you don't lay there, yeah? The pain is incredulous. The pain is a much. The pain is a lot. But you can't stay there. Do you know why you can't stay there? Because then you miss out on the blessing of a problem presenting itself with the opportunity for God to bring a solution. This is the most important thing about problems in life. Every time there is a problem, there's an opportunity for God to show his solution. And that's how I look at life. But that doesn't mean, again, that doesn't mean that you don't feel pain. Listen, that doesn't mean you don't feel pain. And I'm not saying not to feel pain. What I'm saying to you is get in the face of God, because he's the only one that can really touch that heart the way you want it to. Now, time could be the greatest healer, but even then, sometimes there's still some resonance left over, some bitterness. And even now, me, myself, after a few years, I was saying on Instagram that I've forgiven the person, but there's no reconciliation. Because at the end of the day, the person hasn't reconciled the issue. They've said sorry, but they haven't reconciled the issue. When you don't reconcile the issue, appropriately, then there cannot be reconciliation. The example I would give is, God sent his son to die, Jesus, right? To die for mankind, for the whole world. But unless you give your life to Christ, there's no reconciliation. There is a forgiveness already. God is willing to forgive. There's an open hand there. But if you don't meet that open hand, then there's no reconciliation. Do you see it? We've been forgiven, so now we can come into the presence of God and say, look, God, I actually want a relationship with you. But if you don't come into that, yeah, you've been forgiven. God is not beefing you no more. But if you don't come into that, there's no reconciliation. Do you get it? So when I was looking at situations with the betrayal emotionally and financially, both times I said to myself, I need to see Jesus in this. But the painful thing in this is, and someone might say, okay, maybe not Jesus, but some of you might say, I need to take the higher road, right? And the painful thing about taking the higher road is, why has it always got to be you? Why has it always got to be you that has to take the higher road? Why has it always got to be you that's got to do the right thing? Why can't others do the right thing? Do you get it? Yeah, and it's painful because you're bloody right. Why is it always you having to do the right thing? Why can't others do the right thing? Why can't others get it right? Why can't others treat you the way they want to be treated? Why is it that you are the kind-hearted person that seems always to be maltreated? You know, and to keep that short, because I don't. That's another blog I want to do for you guys. Is to say, listen, though you may be maltreated, though you may be that kind person, listen, you can't change your nature. That is who you are, and you can't change it. And there's a reason why you've been made that way, because you're also meant to carry the image of how God would work. That kindness that you have, that ability to, forgive, maybe not reconcile, but forgive an individual, and look beyond the faults of the individual and say, no, I'm not going to hold it against you. Is something that God has given an ability to people so that they can be able to, again, glorify who God is. So yeah, when I was dealing with the emotional turmoil, I think for me, it was hard, man. Like, there's things that are hard, and this was hard. I was just looking, and I was just like, bro, how do you do this? Like, how do you recover from this? Like, every time you're reminded. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how do you recover? And so, like, my first instinct was to go to God and pray. And actually just to seek his face and just put myself in his place and say, look, Lord, do what you got to do. And one thing that God showed me was that, you know what? You know my saying, innit? The same way you feel is how I feel. That's what God always tells me. Same way you feel is how I feel. Say it with me. Just say it with me. Trust me, it will help. The same way you feel is the same way God feels. The same way you've been hurt is the same way God has been hurt. The Bible says that we have a high priest who has also gone through what we've gone through, basically. That he's been tempted the same way we've been tempted. He's gone through the trials and tribulations the way we've gone through the trials and tribulations. And he's also been killed for it. So anything you're going through, the God that we serve also has gone through it. You get me? So he was saying to me that the same way you feel is how I feel. And I was like, okay, how do I understand this? And he was like, you see, Judas, like, how can you roll with 12 other men, yeah? Roll strong, 12 men. You are with them day and night, feeding them, eating with them, doing miracles with them, teaching them the word of God, showing them how to get closer to God. You understand? Showing them that you are God. Do you know what I mean? Showing them all these different things, but there's one hater, one person who's supposed to be a friend, who then can look at you in the face, knowingly that he's gonna go and snitch. And I'm talking about snitch. We're not talking about snitch where the person does something wrong. He's gonna go and snitch and give you up to the enemy for coins. Yeah? To the point where he can see you in the garden, face to face, kiss you on the cheek and say, Master, knowingly that he's betraying you. And so I looked at that, and when I saw that, and when God brought me to that place and saw it, and I said, wow. And so the way that I dealt with the financial and the emotional, I said, I have to deal with it the way that God would deal with it. Which I have to just look at the betrayal as an opportunity to showcase that, God, you're working inside of me. That, you know what, God, you've actually, the same way that they've betrayed me, I know that I've betrayed you in some certain way. And the same way that you forgave me without berating me, I got to try and forgive these people without berating me. Now, that's difficult. And I know some of you are going, I'm not going to do it. And I'm not telling you to do anything. What I'm telling you is what my story is in terms of betrayal. And the fact is, I know emotional and financial betrayal of people who are supposed to love you. And in saying that, how do we look at the situation? We have to look at it as an opportunity for God to kind of showcase himself. So yeah, I think the most painful thing in all of it is, even now I know that although I've forgiven and I've issued mercy to the individuals, I feel like still there is something there. There's a quiet bitterness yet that hasn't yet been rooted at. There's a quiet bitterness that hasn't been fully touched yet by God. Do you know what I mean? There's a quietness of a voice that says, F them kids. That says, you know what, like, don't do that again, coach. No, you need to go hardcore. You need to be hard. You need to make sure that no one can do that to you again. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever have it. And it's like, if you get to that place, you harden yourself not only against people, but against God. And I don't want to ever get to that place. So regardless of what they're doing, I can't let them stop me for being me. You understand? Not everybody does what they do. Not everyone's done what they do. Not everyone betrays people. Do you know what I mean? If you look at it that way, you'll never trust a person again. So I guess for me, when I was talking with God and he just kind of showed me that, you know, I started to look at in situations differently, and I started to look at my behavior with God as well. How do I treat God, and how do I make sure that I don't also betray him in certain circumstances and stuff. And that's to say, again, that's not to say that this is easy to do. What I'm telling you is that betrayal hurts. It sucks. And I can't stand it, bruv. But it's happened. What do we do now? We move. So yeah, hopefully guys, somebody got something from that. We'll do some other videos as well. We're going to do some videos around pain and dealing with, you know, undealt pain. And, you know, just seeing how best we can talk about that going forward as well. So guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. I hope you liked what we did. Comment down below, what's your story? I would love to know some of you guys' stories. You know, we're a family here on this channel, and we like to talk. So let me know, what's your story of betrayal? How did you deal with it? Are you still dealing with it? What kind of pain have you felt? What helped you to get over it, etc, etc. Like, let us know down below in the comment section. If you want to get a hold of myself, you can email me. Look at the description box, and you can email me and let me know if you want to talk directly, or inbox us on Instagram. But guys, yeah, make sure you stay locked and loaded, stay loved, stay blessed. I appreciate you. And get gay. Are you mad?